primary ignition. Commence primary ignition. Commence primary ignition. Commence primary ignition.
What's up, Ugnots and Jawas? Let us know if this is going well. Please let us know in the chat. But what's up? We already see you, Andrew, in the chat. We appreciate you being here. This is Mando Talk, baby. Mando Late Night, rather. I'm your boy, Caleb, and joining me is Zach. Man, how we feeling? How we feeling?
Oh, we're feeling good, baby. We're live. Let's do it live. I know we've been talking about this for a long time, and we're just excited to get a little conversation going. You know what I mean? Even if you're watching this VOD, it don't matter. Welcome in. Welcome in. Doesn't matter. We're just here to talk about Acolyte and whatever we get into.
100%.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, that's essentially what the concept of Mando Late Night is. It's just an opportunity once a week for Star Wars fans to get together and talk about Star Wars. And you can see the live chat is literally on screen. So that means you are part of the show, baby. Anything that you throw in there, I mean, if it's inappropriate, you know your boy's going to have to remove it. But anything that you throw in there, we'll talk about it. Star Wars related, heck. If you want to hear thoughts that we have on other things out there, heck, we'll talk about that for like 2 or 3 minutes too. It's really just about us building community, and I am so pumped So thrilled to be doing this, Zach. We got Death Trooper 85 saying made it in the chat. What's up, Death Trooper? I'm pretty sure I know who you are. You've got a brother that's been on this show before, DJ Foster. And man, I completely dropped the ball on realizing that was your YouTube channel. So shout out to you, Death Trooper. Appreciate you being here. Andrew saying one of the best Star Wars podcasts out there. Let's get it. Let's go. We appreciate that. Appreciate everybody checking out this video. Zach, man, we had actually a couple of Star Wars news things that were pretty interesting over the past week. I mean, I know, in my opinion, obviously, we're Mando talk. Pedro Pascal showing up in the Mandalorian Grogu, maybe. What do you think? What do you think about that one?
For sure. Just to let everybody in, right? They supposedly have started filming at least some crucial scenes. Is that how they worded it? Crucial,
time sensitive.
Correct. Yeah, it's Pedro. He's showing his face, like confirmed, right?
Yeah,
come on.
I think so.
And debatably, is that his only scenes in the whole thing?
100%.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, yeah. We're on the same page.
If the helmet's on in the movie, it's not Pedro.
Yeah, and I don't know. I used to feel weird about that, but now I kind of get it. Like Mando has that vibe and that stature that I'm looking for, and if that's not Pedro in there, then I don't want him in there. I don't know. That's a weird kind of thing, but
yeah,
all I need is voice with the little, robotic voiceover, and I'm good.
I'm right there with you on that. I used to be somebody that was very opinionated on it and wanted Pedro in it as much as possible, and I would fight anybody that said that's not Pedro, dude. Yeah, nonetheless, it wasn't Pedro most of the time, probably. But hey, I appreciate he's a busy dude. Let's give the guy props. He is. I mean, he's working in Star Wars. He's working in Marvel. He's working in one of the best video game adaptations out there with The Last of Us. Like, this dude's on fire. So I'm always of the opinion of more power to you. If your career is hot, go chase that bread. And Pedro's career is hot. Baby.
Yeah, he deserves it, in my opinion. Here, all of his flowers that he's been getting. Andrew says Pedro has the easiest job playing Mando. You're probably right there. What a way to get a paycheck. You know what I mean? But I mean, what a gig! You get to be in Star Wars. You get to basically do voiceover, and then show your face in key moments. That's a pretty sick. That's a pretty sick gig.
He's got a good gig.
Andrew said, true, he looks great in Gladiator 2. Dude, I mean,
Come on. Of course, it reminds me of back when he was doing Game of Thrones. Like, it's those kind of vibes.
Dude, he looks so good. That trailer is sick. We're getting the boat battles or whatever in the come on, dude.
Sickness.
That looks
legitness. But yeah, I would imagine it is definitely probably the easiest gig out there, because I bet what happens, kind of getting back to the news of it, I bet they've shot the scenes of helmet off. I think you touched on that, but I'd imagine in his spare time when he's doing Fantastic Four, they've got a closet, they've got a booth set up where he can just go in and record his lines an hour, 2 hours a day max, and then just keep on doing the things that he wants to keep doing. And I understand. I get it.
With those voiceover things, like, you can knock that stuff out. Like, I wouldn't say quick, because it's, not that quick, but way quicker than shooting a movie, I believe. Because, like, when you hear actors talking about doing these animated projects, like, they'll go in, for a couple days, and that's all they do for a while, and then they'll come and do more. Like, I'm not saying it's an easy gig, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying, like, the amount of things you can do in a day is a lot more with voiceover stuff. And Andrew says, I love The Last of Us show, never played the games. Andrew.
That's me, Andrew.
Andrew Keller.
Zach's going to give us a hard time. It's okay, Andrew.
The Last of Us is number one on my list of favorite video games of all time. It is numero uno, my favorite game ever. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to tangent us into that, but just say, Andrew, it's incredible. And if you think the show's incredible, imagine playing as Joel. That's what you do in the game. Like, you're doing those things. And so
it's one of those things I have on the to-do list that's probably never going to get to done.
It is so good. And then Last of Us Part 2 maybe is even better. It made me feel a lot more emotions. Now, I still think 1 is my number 1, But what I'm saying is 2 is better, but y'all will see why, because it's gonna
Season 2, right? Yeah.
season 2
Yeah.
and season
Okay.
3, whatever they do, and my my wife's in the chat says, "How many playthroughs?" I don't know, literally like 7. I have so many. She was chirping me earlier when we watched The Last of Us because I
Is
did
that
a
more
play.
playthroughs than y'all have been married? Years
Uh,
that y'all have been married?
yeah, I don't know. What are we at? 8? I
Uh-oh.
think we're at 8.
Uh-oh,
I think we're at
Taylor.
8. I think we're at 8. I don't know. Check me on that, but it's close. It's close.
We'll
Yeah, no,
see. We'll see.
like I said, she was chirping me because I did like a full playthrough of both before the show came out. And she's chirping, but she's sitting there watching, man. It's that good. It's that good.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
good. It's good.
I
I
love it.
believe you.
Shout out Pedro. So good, man.
Yes,
I'm excited to see
absolutely.
him in Fantastic Four. I'm excited to see him in this.
But
Let's get it.
Mandalorian Grogu's up at the top for me. You know it is. You know it is.
I don't know, man. Reed Richards, come on. Come on.
We'll see.
No, yeah. No, I think I agree with you there. I think Mando is number 1 just because him showing his face, as we know, is a big deal. You know what I mean? Like that's a really big deal. So
Yeah.
that means we're gonna get some heavy moments probably.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I hope so because I'm itching for some Mandalorian content. And I don't know if we're gonna get a Mandalorian season anymore. Like I don't get the path that they've got going on as far as the storytelling with the Mandalorian goes, and I'm dying laughing at this chat here.
Yeah. Nah.
You got in trouble. You got in trouble.
It's all good. It's all good.
Oh man. But yeah, Death Trooper 85 says Mando is on top. 100%. 100%. But hey, I'm excited for it. We'll see. The future for the Mandalorian is bright, in my opinion, because Star Wars needs to get back in the theater. And I think that's the franchise to get it done for sure.
Yeah. Andrew, and before we leave that, Andrew says, what about Pedro and Wonder Woman?
Andrew.
Hey, for how bad that movie is, he still was doing his thing with what he's given.
He's okay.
He's cheesing it up with whatever script he's given. Come on, Patty. Are you doing Star Wars? What are we doing here? I'm wrapping it back to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Whatever. What's her movie?
Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron. God, what a cool name, dude.
It's a great name. It's a novel. It's a Legends novel. I don't know if they're actually trying to retell that Legends novel. Probably not. But, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Okay. There was a second thing. That dropped over the weekend, and that was this first little look at Skeleton Crew. And I know I did a short video on it. Maybe this is just me being the massive Star Wars fan, the overly optimistic. And I said this in my short, but maybe if you didn't see it, here's my take on it. This looks so refreshing to me. This poster that you can now see up on the screen as well, if you haven't seen it yet. It looks kid-friendly. It looks like it's got the heart of Star Wars, and sign me up for that, especially post-Acolyte, especially after that. And I'm somebody that finds positives out of all the shows, so there were definitely some things in the Acolyte that I really enjoyed, and I don't want to make it sound like I don't appreciate the genre that the Acolyte swung for, because I want that darker kind of take, the Sith take in Star Wars. But I guess just after the Acolyte has released and after I had so many like iffy feelings on it, and we'll definitely get to that. Obviously, that's the main topic of our stream tonight. I think Skeleton Crew is going to land at a perfect time for me. What do you think of those takes there, Zach?
As soon as I saw it, I knew you'd love it.
Let's go.
As soon as I saw this poster, because whatever this like aesthetic they're going for, this kind of film grainy kind of paint, it instantly took me to like New Hope kind of vibe of what I remember seeing. So, back up a ways. I'm not a lifelong Star Wars guy, as we've talked about here, right? I'm a kind of a newer in the last 10 years, 15 years of my life. So when I first saw Star Wars, this is the aesthetic I was getting from things, right? I was looking at the old stuff, and then I got into the prequels and yada, yada, yada. But immediately when I saw this, I went, oh, okay. I really like this, like it really checks all the boxes that you've already said. Kid friendly. We're going on an adventure, and we're getting maybe back to those kind of goofy but Star Warsy vibes that, like you said, is going to be refreshing after this.
Yeah, and a couple of chats coming in here. Death Trooper says it's a Max Rebo type of character. As I saw that pop up, I needed to double check on what that species was. Ortolan, I believe, is how you say that.
Is
So
that the
that
dude from the cantina?
yes, the
Or
drums or
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
the
okay.
pipe kind of drum
Gotcha.
things. I'm sure there's a name for that too. And then Andrew saying, "I'm shocked we haven't gotten a trailer yet." I believe people that were at Star Wars Celebration did get a trailer. I
Mm,
think you
mm.
can fact check me on that, people, but I'm pretty sure people have at least seen some footage. I have not, though, unfortunately.
I'm with Death Trooper and Andrew on this. Excited. I am excited for it. And I'm happy to see other people are too, because as we kind of inferred last episode, like I, I forgot this existed.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has like completely flown under my radar at this point. So the fact that we get this, I am also surprised that we haven't got a trailer as well, even though it was at Star Wars Celebration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very surprised we haven't gotten
Yeah,
one. But what do you think? Is it because they're letting Acolyte kind of marinate? Is that
I
what?
I definitely think it's because they're letting Acolyte marinate for sure. I also think I don't know if they're maybe trying to still figure out the marketing strategy behind the show because it's maybe leaning toward kid. Maybe that's got something to do with it. But as you were kind of talking too, it got me thinking, didn't John Watts like step away from Spider-Man 4 to do Skeleton Crew? I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I
sure he
believe so.
did.
I believe so.
So I don't know. I just feel like he would have given it everything he had to that show. And
Also,
I'm
I think he was
surprised
done with
we
Spider
haven't.
Man. Just want
You
to throw
think
that out
so?
there. Yeah.
I'm just surprised we haven't gotten anything about it yet,
Mhm.
honestly,
Same.
because
I mean, same.
it is. I mean, and again, don't forget it's Mandoverse. It's also supposed to be one of those shows that's supposed to like tie that little thread. I don't know how. I don't know how yet, but we'll see. One thing that's missing from that poster, Jude Law. He's supposed to be the guy. I don't know, but he's missing. I find that interesting.
I found that very interesting. I
I
wanted to
don't know.
discuss it here. I wanted your thoughts. I have no idea why are we not showing him. Besides the
Mm,
fact that that might throw off the whole kid vibe we're getting. You know, having a random adult in there. I don't know.
maybe,
We're
maybe,
going more Goonies
or maybe we
style.
need to just
I got
temper
Goonies vibes.
expectations.
Temper
And
expectations.
yeah, and what I mean by that is maybe Jude Law's not into that much.
Oh, fair, fair, fair. Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
but who knows, man? Who knows? I'm excited for Skeleton Crew. I'm definitely more excited from seeing this little poster. And I guess it wasn't necessarily a poster. I believe the root of it all was it came from like a Hobby Lobby picture or
I
poster that
didn't
you
know
could buy
that.
from. Yeah. Somehow it leaked out. I don't.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild get. Pretty wild get. All right, man. Well, those were two little quick things. I say little quick things. We're now 20 minutes almost deep into the stream, but hey, we had to talk about them. That kind of gives you a feel of what we like to do here on Mando Late Night. Before we get into the main topic, we'd like to have some fun with you. Yeah, Death Trooper makes a good call. Goonies style would be nice. I think that would be fun with Skeleton Crew. Andrew, I missed this one. He said yes, they did put it at Star Wars Celebration, just hasn't been put out to the public. So yeah, I think we're
Also,
definitely.
I see the picture at this like thrift store, Hobby Lobby or whatever.
Mhm.
I think Jude Law is in it. There's
There's a
like an
small
adult kind of
silhouette of him, yes.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, like, come on, like marketing, we got to know Jude Law's there. You know what I mean?
I know, but and
It'll
Death
be all
Trooper
right.
says Goonies style would be nice. Yeah, that was the other thing I thought of it. I didn't bring up when we talked about it. Very Goonie vibes.
Mm,
And that's a big win for me because I absolutely love the Goonies. It is a
yeah.
nostalgia heaven for me. I love Goonies so much.
I believe that when they initially pitched it, they said that it was going to be like an Amblin style film kind of thing. And I think that's the production company that did like E.T.
Oh,
and
okay.
those kind of things. So
Perfect.
yeah, it's definitely up that Goonie alley for sure. For sure. Okay. What are we talking about tonight, man? What are we doing? Acolyte? We want to go down that road again?
One more time, my guy. One more time.
We did say that we wanted to because I mean last week we were on the road. We
Yeah.
were and you could tell those of you that are in the live chat, those of you that are watching, if you checked out our breakdown of our podcast last week, it sounded like I was like the stranger himself. Like I had a helmet on the whole episode. Zach sounded great. I mean, he had a great to go setup. But your boy didn't, apparently, and I did not realize it till after the fact. And at that
Worth
point,
noting, it didn't sound like that while we were recording.
no, it did not. And after the fact, when it was 2 a.m., I was like, nah, this is
Exactly.
good enough. We're putting it out there. So we wanted to for sure talk about the Acolyte one more time. Number one, maybe not so late at night, but it is late night Mando talk here. Her Mando late night, rather. My
Yeah,
bad. So we're
night
still doing
owl.
it late, but it ain't 2 a.m. Let me tell you that.
3 a.m. for your boy. Just want to throw that out there.
Was it 3 a.m.
I was
for
on
you?
Eastern time, man.
Oh my gosh,
It was
man.
3 a.m. When you messaged me to record, I was sleeping. I was out.
I was nervous of that. I was
When
close.
you
I
text
was
me,
close.
said, yo,
to
you
shutting it
coming?
down.
I literally, oh.
Well, hey, that lets everybody know how dedicated we are here, baby.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So we want to talk about the Acolyte. Everybody that's here with us live, again, appreciate you being here. Keep throwing in those chats. We want to hear from you what your thoughts overall on the Acolyte season 1 were. Just drop them in there as soon as you think of them. We'll talk about those when we get the opportunity to do so. But we want to hear from you. And Zach alluded to it earlier. If you're not somebody that was able to catch this out live, let us know just down in the comment section as you're rewatching this back. Again, the concept of Mando Late Night is to develop community, and that means we would love to hear from you. So keep engaging with us. Okay, Zach, I believe I've formulated this one big key thing of why the Acolyte, I guess, was so, I hate to say mid, because when it was great, it was so good, man. And especially the choreography. Like, I feel like I'm beating on a dead drum there, but I'm mind blown with the abilities that they were able to show. I love the utilization of cortosis. I love the way that looked. I just loved every lightsaber duel and fight that we got. But outside of that, man, overall, it's definitely the writing. But anyway, let me get back to the one thing. My bad. I'm rambling here. The one thing that I've come to the realization of with the Acolyte.
Mm-hmm.
In every single Star Wars story, whether that be animation, live action TV, live action movie, heck, even the novels and comics that I've read, I have always at one point been able to see myself in a character. That did not happen once in the Acolyte. There was not a single opportunity where I saw Soul doing something, May doing something, Osha, Chimere, all of the characters. There was not once where I was like, man, that really hits home with me. That's great storytelling. I just didn't really get those vibes. And I feel like at the end of the day, that's probably what it comes down to as far as me feeling, I would say overall 6 out of 10 with the thing. I think that's what it comes down to. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts on that takeaway? And maybe what are your overall review things before we just kind of go elsewhere with the conversation?
I mean, whatever as we say here, you know, whatever your opinion is on it, I think for me, it's less that and more just making sense of the story. Okay. We've talked about it, you know, every episode pretty much is like, why is this character doing this? Why are they doing that? Why are they doing this? I had to say that so much that I just got lost in what we're even watching.
Yeah.
And like you said, yeah, it makes me lean up when they're fighting and stuff because it's so good. It is top shelf choreography, top shelf. Well, I should say this. We're tiptoeing the top shelf when we get into the Sith stuff. Like we're starting to get a little hint here and there. Ooh, he's got something on his back. Okay. Oh, all right. He's murking Jedi. Remember, master and not just master, but like all the Jedi, he's murking them. And then he's holding hands and kissing.
Mhm.
I just and I'm okay with the love angle because what I think is fascinating with the Sith stuff is it's not just hate, it's lust and it's, you know,
Sure.
these bad emotions, quote bad, but it's just The writing was so bad, and it could have been so good.
Yep. And that reminds me of a overall concept too that a lot of people have probably shared at this point. Let these episodes breathe,
Oh,
Lucasfilm. What are we doing?
these 14-second episodes frustrate me, dude.
Yeah, I've said this to you, Zach, off air. The bones, the structure of the Acolyte is there. It's promising,
Mhm.
but I don't know. They just feel so rushed to get to the 8th episode and call it
And,
a day.
you know, we talked after, but like, if I elevator pitch this story to you,
Mhm.
hey, we've got these two twins that were created by a mysterious force. One's bad, one's good. By the end, the good one's bad, the bad one's good, and this bad one is with a Sith that was abused by this Jedi, and he hates him. And by the end of the story, he's killed like 15 Jedi. Dude,
Epic.
like,
Epic.
come on.
Epic.
Come on. All right, let's hit the live chat
Yeah,
here.
let's hit it.
We're
We
getting
got
into
we got
it. So
some things
Andrew
here.
says, well, Death Trooper says, awful. The only good part is Darth Plagueis and Yoda and the lightsabers fight. And see, I'm not even with you on that. The Darth Plagueis Yoda stuff, I even hate it more than what I saw before.
Okay.
Because of what I said, though, which it dangles the carrot. Oh, this is what you actually wanted in the show. Here's 4 seconds of it. What? And then we're going to
Yeah, I
go
get that.
14 minutes on this dumb twin story that I don't care about. That's what frustrated me so bad. And then Andrew comes in with, there are elements I love in the show, everything I like in the series. There's something I don't like. 5.5 out of 10 for me.
That's fair.
I think that's a perfect summation of this show.
Yeah.
Some things I absolutely love.
Like I'm gonna say Soul and Chimere.
Yeah.
Those are the things that came back. And I'll be honest, I got to the point where even Vernestra could get there.
Could get there.
And I will say I went back and rewatched the finale. I get everything that Vernestra's doing, and I understand the writing behind that character, I think, a little bit better. But outside of that, I fall into that category as well with Andrew. Anyway,
and
keep
he
going.
says, I never hate on a show, and the problems most people had with canon, I didn't. Yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care about the canon stuff because it all kind of made sense. And even if it was, again, tiptoeing the line of like changing canon, I don't care, man. Just make it a good story. I don't care if you change canon, whatever. Like,
I'll be real, I do care about canon, but
I know.
I still don't feel like the Acolyte did anything extremely detrimental. The only thing that I've been hesitant with is now that Yoda is there at the end, like, and obviously we're left to interpret what is he gonna know kind of thing, or what is he gonna be informed of from Vernestra. And who knows, if we see a season 2, we'll get that answer. If we don't, then it'll be open to interpretation. That's the only part that's got me like, but everything else, at least in my opinion, has been fine up to this point.
And Andrew agrees. You know, they say, I agree, Caleb. I didn't find myself caring for the characters like I normally do. That's a huge piece of this, especially the twins.
It was the twins for me that
care
didn't work.
about them. I just didn't. And Death Trooper says, "Oh, and the Stranger's a Knight of Ren. He's the Knight of Ren, my guy. I'm still in that camp. He is Ren.
He's the first one, I think.
He is Ren.
Okay. I didn't want to make all this. I didn't want to go as ranty as maybe this is going, but
no.
But even Leslie Headland said in an interview, "Oh, it was there for a reason. The Knight of Ren, the Kylo Ren music. Are we aware of that reason, or are we just getting teased, man? Like,
we don't know." I just also, what I think the show did that I absolutely despise when a show does is it assumed it's getting a season 2.
Yes, and that was another point I wanted to bring up. I'm glad you brought it up.
When a season does this, when any season does it, I get setting the seeds for a potential next season. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying writing the book with the next book in mind. That makes no sense to me. And you get a broken first book where I don't care about the second book.
Sure.
You know? And Taylor says, it put me to sleep. Zach woke me up for the great parts. I did do that multiple times. I did wake her up like, yo, check this out. He's killing all the Jedi. I did do that. I even remember saying to her, she walked in and I was like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. And that's when he yored. And I was like, We're
Yeah.
going here, baby. Let's go. We're here.
Yeah, my wife was kind of the same way. Like, we started off with the Acolyte so strong, like she was locked in, but there was something that came out whenever the Acolyte came out that got her interest, and she no longer watched the Acolyte with me. I can't remember what it was, but it was something that was more her genre.
Oh, Tyler
Anyway,
was watching Bridgerton, I
that's
think.
probably what it was. I
I
think
think
that's
it's
what it was.
Bridgerton that
Yeah.
dropped. Andrew says if we're going to do half-hour episodes, give at least 45 minutes, not 25 without credits. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're getting 15-minute episodes here.
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't have enough content for a full episode,
Uh-huh.
maybe your story's not good enough.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
I
And I also get the take though of, and I agree with this take. You use the amount of runtime that you need to tell the story that you need to tell in that episode. I get that. That's fair. But the problem is it's been every single show. And
it's clearly a mandate, not a content thing. Clearly.
It seems like the only show that's been able to break out of that mandate then is Andor. Because
The
that thing
best show, easily. Like,
Yeah.
because guess what? The storyteller, the writer, is incredible, and he knew what he was doing, or they were doing. I don't know if he was the only writer on it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure at the moment.
Shout out Tony Gilroy.
Yeah,
Come on.
Phenom.
Andrew says Yoda did the cameo for the money. Exactly. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like for me.
Yeah.
He just took that bag and left.
He's the Pedro. He's the Pedro of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't even show his face. What are you talking about? He just back of the head, man.
That's true.
Hey,
That's true.
Yoda, we need you for like half a day. Not even. A couple hours. Yep.
That's good.
Death River says you're right. That's the only reason I watched it. I'm assuming you mean the dangling thing.
The Plagueis and Yoda. Yes. Yeah. Let's go back to that. Because you mentioned that you didn't like either of them at all.
I've gone back now and think that I don't like either one of them. The way they were given. Not that I don't want them in the show. It's the way it was portrayed, I would say.
Yeah, because the possibility of Plagueis being there is obviously extremely intriguing to me. I freak out every time I see him because that's just a Star Wars dream come true. But I still come back to the fact that it didn't feel earned at the end of the day. So I guess I kind of agree with you.
Again, it's not that he shows up. It's you gave us this story potential or insight on something random that has nothing to do with the story we were given, but ties to the story we were promised. That's why I get mad about it. And Death Trooper says Andor is easily the best show, no doubt. Agreed. Easily. Easily. I need to go back and watch that.
Well, let me reintroduce the idea of The Mandalorian season 2.
No. I think Andor is number one, man.
I think as far as like a TV show quality, Andor takes the cake for sure. Yes. But as far as like the Star Wars in me, it'll always be the first 2 seasons of Mando until they drop something better. We'll see.
That's tough.
That's just the nerd in me.
I was going to say it gets into the whole content quality versus you just loving what you're seeing, which I think both are viable. I don't think either one's wrong. It's just this weird dynamic that I'm happy we have.
Sure. Let's say out of pure enjoyment ranking, Mando season 1 and 2 are still above Andor. Quality, I'll give Andor that prize all day long. But for me, what I loved, we're at Mando talk, ladies and gentlemen.
So let me ask you this. In seasons 1 and season 2, what are the standout moments for you? Like, what are moments that go, hey, this is it?
Well, with season 1, it's just the heart of it just screamed Star Wars to me. Every time I threw an episode on each and every single week, I knew I was in safe hands and we were going to get a heartfelt, caring story. And again, I think I've shared this on the pod before. A good little test that I've got is if a show is able to lock my wife in, and The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 are by far, it's not even close. And let's be real, it's because of the little green guy. But those are the only 2 seasons that have locked her in the way that they have. But other than that, I mean, season 2, I mean,
you get Luke.
Well, before even Luke showed up, I was already locked in because you had Ahsoka, you had Boba Fett, you had Bo-Katan, like you had all, and it all made sense. It all worked. It wasn't like Plagueis and Yoda in season 1 of The Acolyte. Like it narratively, nailed it, and it all made sense. And it was. I mean, it was literally a dream come true. The Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah, that's well said. Because that's what my point on there was going to be. Is like what I love about season 2 is that it tied all these cool Star Wars things together, and it's the most Star Wars feeling thing I've had maybe in a long time, long time for me. But my point being, Andor, right off the dome, I can name episodes, moments that are incredible.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I need to go back. I need to go back and watch it.
You telling me the like moment when all them things are like flying over them and they're having the escape with the heist and stuff? Come on.
Yeah,
and then
good.
we get the full to the water or whatever he says, you know. There's 12 on level 4, whatever he says, where you're just like, oh, he's in. They're doing it. Like those aren't in any other Star Wars show. And that actually, that's not even like a Star Wars thing. That's just a TV show in general. Those moments are peak hype moments for me.
Well, I mean, I feel like Andor's the only Star Wars show that's gotten like critical, like buzz compared to the others.
I think it should, personally. I don't think Mando season 1 or season 2 are critic Emmy worthy stuff.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Do you? It's okay.
Technologically, yes. Technologically,
okay.
100%.
I'll give you that. Like with CGI and stuff
with the volume, like that's industry next level material for sure. And they were able to incorporate it very well.
Grogu was pretty cool too. I mean, just the little puppet was actually pretty sick.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. No, I agree with that. Andor quality wise, probably, but
fandom. Again, I'm not bringing you down. I'm just
I
want to know why, basically.
Yeah.
It's clear on Andor to me. It's very much a different level of storytelling. But it's just, I will agree that I think Mando encapsulates the idea of Star Wars better than Andor. This kind of just fun, mystical, let's go on an adventure thing.
That nails it for sure.
And Death Trooper says you're right, Caleb, about Mando though, but the march and the fight in Andor is too good.
And again, I need to go back and watch Andor because that show came out right when we were welcoming our first kid. So
no, you didn't get to watch it then.
All the blur.
You were in the trenches, man. There's no way you got to watch it.
That's the only show that Mando Talk has not covered every single episode of. So maybe I need to go back and fill in the cracks. That'd be a fun little
I'll hop in if you'll have me. I would love an excuse to go watch Andor. I only saw it once. I've only went through it once.
Yeah, I saw it once, half asleep, I guess.
Yeah, well, you talked about Maddie locked in for Mando. Taylor was locked in for Mando as well. 1 and 2, even 3. Actually, she watched that as well. But Andor, that was like must see TV. It's like hey, it's on, it's live, let's go watch it type level. I just love having that.
Yeah,
I love having that.
I agree.
And do I think Skeleton Crew is going to be must see TV? I got to check it out as soon as it drops. No,
absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's going to fall at its best. It's going to fall under the cheesy, goofy, fun Star Wars category.
Hot take. I kind of hope they just drop them all and I can binge them and move on.
As far as Mando Talk content goes, please don't. I like the week to week. The week to week. Okay, so anything other? I mean, Acolyte season 1. I feel like we've kind of hit on the main.
I didn't give it a number. Okay. I'll go. I think I got to go 5 out of 10. I don't think I can even go 6. I think I got to go 5 out of 10.
Dang, boy.
Well, because every thought I have that's good, just like Andrew said, I think it was Andrew who said, there's a good one and then there's a bad one. Into my mind, that's 50-50. And so I got to give it a 5.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you this because season 1 was our main topic here. So let's make sure that we air all the laundry. Reflecting back on the witches, how was that storyline to you? Because that was a big talking point the entire season, really.
I think I feel the same way I did in the review, which was it worked for me personally. It felt like it was in the world of Star Wars. Like I loved the idea that it doesn't have to be the Jedi religion. It can be whatever theirs is, right? And theirs isn't just Force. We're getting into like magical stuff with witches and other
Yeah.
things. I think that's cool, personally.
Yeah.
I think it actually really worked.
I think what made it so just I will use the word here, mid for me, was just the fact that out of my exposure to the Clone Wars Night Sisters, like it wasn't anything that was just, ooh, this is really cool kind of thing. If anything, again, I keep coming back to and maybe I'll have to shelve some of this until we talk season 2 predictions potentially. The thing that I keep coming back to is this daggum birth that they didn't really give an answer on. Again, probably assuming that a season 2 is going to potentially answer that too much, but that's what I come back to with the witches over and over and over again. Is everything else I was fine with, but just no regard to that little mystery seemed just very frustrating.
And see,
Very
I don't even think that has to do with the witches. That's just bad writing again.
Okay, that's fair. That's
like the witches. The only issue I had with the witches was the dumb thing, and then they all died or whatever, or not died. I don't know.
In the penultimate episode, episode 7. Okay,
that is the one issue I have. That was dumb to me.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Death Trooper
But
agrees
it
here.
gave
Says
us-
it was weird but cool. Weird but cool. I agree with that.
Weird but cool. That's fair. Like, I think
What were you
it gave us one of the coolest kind of mind-bending Force go into their brain moments. I'm still on that.
You still got
train,
that
by the way.
take.
It's awesome. I watched it again. It's so good, dude.
Was it okay? Hold on. Wasn't it in the short that we cut for that? We clipped that bit where you said it was top tier. I think somebody said that you were talking to me about. I can't remember. It was so good though. It was clearly. I'm gonna have to pull this up, man. I'm gonna have to pull this up.
I don't know. You know, people love to just do this. Just
well, it was because I was disagreeing. I was like, nah, it's the Night Sisters, like for sure. But no, somebody clapped back at you pretty hard for having that take. I have to read this because it's hilarious. I know we're kind of delaying the.
It's all good.
Okay, here we go.
We're just vibing.
Dude, it's gone.
Oh,
wait, no, it's not. I found it.
Okay.
First of all, username @sexypanda 1349. All right, so this is whenever you were saying that Mother Anastasia getting into Torben's mind was the coolest witch.
One of the coolest witch kind of mind
that
force things I've ever seen.
Same delivery. And I'm sitting here just kind of like shaking my head. I'm like, I don't know about that kind of thing. This guy says, bro is yapping about how cool Peppa Pig is to a guy literally grilling brunch. Cannot believe the lack of insight in monkey brain see cool thing for first time. That's what we dealt with throughout the Acolyte.
Yeah. That's Star Wars content these days, folks.
It was an insane world. All I said was funny comment, but unnecessary aggression, Panda.
Oh, I've erased it from my memory. That's hilarious. Because I still think it's dope. Show me another mind where you're taking over the mind in the Force scene, and I'll retract my statement. Show me a cooler one. There ain't, because they all do this.
All right, I'll send you some Night Sister episodes to
No,
watch.
Don't get me wrong. I bet they go same stupid thing. They don't get that cool action in there. That tension.
All right, man. Challenge accepted.
All right, give it to me.
I'll find something.
Wrong.
All right, bet.
All right,
okay, let's see. What else? What else was season 1? We've hit on Plagueis. We hit on Yoda.
Kind of just turned into a dummy.
Soul, yeah. We need to talk about that.
Okay.
Hot take. I don't think it's a hot take. Soul did nothing wrong.
Soul, you did nothing wrong, my guy.
Okay, no. I will say the one wrong thing he did was let May fall because for some reason, he thought he was going to be able to hold up both bridges instead of just grabbing both of themselves. But that goes back to writing. Let's be real.
Well, and that actually gets into the issue that you got to. It's don't get me wrong. We're on the outside looking in. This is not easy to make a good story, right? And so, especially when you get into the Force being a part of it, because the Force is so omnipotent. Like, it's the point of like, oh, well, then why can't you just do everything? You know, why don't you just jump out of there and then heal yourself and then grab everyone and pull them in? So it's like this weird, you got to set the rules, but also got to make it make sense. So with all that being said, just grab the girls. Just as they fall, go whip. Arresto momentum. Boom.
Yep.
Done.
I agree. Yeah, I don't. Soul was clicking on all cylinders for me early in the season, but when they started doing this whole flashback thing and they started talking about how he felt so guilty, I would totally, if I was him, I would feel so guilty about letting May fall 1000%. But if I see a witch turn into smoke evaporating and a child straight across from her is also evaporating into this black smoke, I'm probably pulling my lightsaber.
You're gone.
I think it's okay. And again, I think it's a writing thing. I think it's designed to be written as such a tragic story where Saul did wrong, but you understand why he did wrong, but it just didn't play that way. It did not play that way
we've
at all.
talked about this where Torben kills himself because of this.
Question.
Bananas. My God, why did you do that? Why did you kill yourself over that? Come on. And then he's been in silence or whatever. Remember, he's been.
Oh yeah. That's
been
weird.
In silence for so long.
That's weird. That's weird.
They should have had those Jedi genocide the witches, and then we all would have went, oh my gosh, they really did massacre them. It's as simple as that. But I know they're not going to do that because the Jedi can't do that, I guess. I don't know, man. Which over and over they told us the Jedi are bad, by the way, throughout the episode, throughout the show.
Yeah.
And Death Trooper says, you're right, Caleb. He was kind of stupid. Yeah. By the end, he was like, at first, he's so cool.
He was a great character at first.
Incredible character. He was skyrocketing up my list. And then he just started slipping because I think he was so good because of the actor.
Oh, yeah. Lee Jung-jae did incredible work with Soul.
Even in the last episode, even though some of the things were dumb, I mean, he's putting his heart and soul.
Dude, his facial expression. Hey, good job. Good job. I caught that. His facial expression whenever Osha's choking him.
That dude looks like he's dying.
Spoilers.
Like he is getting dropped. Incredible work.
Yeah.
And he learned English for the part. Got to throw that out there.
Yeah, that's incredible.
My wife is sick of hearing me say that because I've said it so many times. He learned English to be in this show.
Sure.
So cool.
It is cool. It is cool. Let's see. Can we safely say that Chimera was the coolest character?
Yeah, easily.
Okay. All right. Fair. I'm trying to think if there. Hey, let us know, chat, if there's anything else with the Acolyte you want us to talk about with season 1. Anything brewing in your mind with season 1? Let us know. We'll definitely touch on it. I guess Kyber crystal bleeding. We probably need to talk about that too.
Worked for me.
I'm cool with Osha turning to the dark side. I know that was a thing of debate with people, and maybe even I debated it last week whenever we did our little breakdown. I don't feel like she's fully bad necessarily. The Kyber crystal thing, I'm still just questioning it, but I guess it's because it's exposed. But I keep coming back to. And I did not talk about this on air, so this is a new take on the channel. I keep coming back to how Ben Solo struggled so much to do it, to where his lightsaber became the way it was in the sequel trilogy, but Osha just so seamlessly does it. And I would have to imagine the explanation for it is because Osha is fresh off the kill. Like, also, literally off the kill.
I know we went back and forth on this actually a lot because I was more okay with it. Because I just thought it made sense. It was cool. We don't really have the rules of bleeding of a crystal, really. We don't, this doesn't happen a lot, right? I know it from Jedi Survivor, the game. And in that game, he doesn't even touch it. It's exposed. It's out of the saber, but he's kind of like force holding it like they do.
And you said this is Survivor?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't played this one.
So he's a former Jedi, and he turns bad, obviously. And yeah, he kind of like lifts it up, and you can see him like kind of trying to do. I think he's trying to bleed it, and then it kind of like it's completely different than everything else. Actually, it kind of like explodes out with this energy force.
Mm.
So I took that as like, okay, there's multiple ways to do this. And so that's why I didn't have a problem with this. I just thought her touching it, her breaking on the inside, killing Soul, breaking her even more, like everything emotionally made sense to me that it would be a dark side and it would, bleed a crystal or break the crystal or whatever you want to call this.
That's fair.
It really worked for me personally.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was a cool visual of when she turned it on, it wasn't fully bled yet. It was still like figuring it out. I think all of those little decisions were very, very cool. Darth Trooper says, do we know when Palpatine comes into play? I know it's 150 years or something before Phantom, but do we know?
Yeah, so I know a lot of people, if you remember in the finale, Vernestra's talking on comms with somebody, and we hear a voice that definitely sounds similar to Ian McDermott as Palpatine, but I think it's way too soon for Palpatine to be alive. Although the dialogue, because I think it's Vernestra saying something about, or no, it's the dude, it's the evil sounding guy that's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell him that information or something like that, to where it could easily be like the apprentice of Plagueis that maybe Vernestra's trying to, I don't know. But I know there's a rumor or there's a theory out there that somehow Palpatine is in this thing. I really hope not. It's way too soon, in my opinion, because I think even on last week's pod, we saw that it was like we're a good 40 something years away from him being born.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think we're there yet, but maybe that's what a season 2 would do. Who knows?
Yeah. And then Death Trooper says in Vader Comics, Darth has to kill a Jedi and bleed his crystal with all his hate and anger. So I would.
Well, and I guess that's what OSHA's. I guess
I was
that's
about
what
to
she
say.
did.
I would debate that that's all her hate and anger right there.
Still,
her whole life crumbling.
I guess that comes back to my struggling with it. Is I'm still not fully convinced of how dark side OSHA is, and that goes back to writing.
I don't think your ability to bleed a saber correlates to your dark side power, in my mind.
What character in Survivor is it that bleeds the crystal again?
Some random dude that like gets woken up, and then you kill him.
But is it like a villain? Sith?
Yeah, he's a villain.
Okay.
Yeah. He turns bad.
Well,
it's the same exact thing with OSHA, actually. Spoiler alert for Jedi Survivor. I won't go into details, but it's you basically wake him up and he goes, I hate the Jedi or whatever. And then that's it. He bleeds his crystal.
Okay.
Now, I'm downplaying it. It's sick in the game.
Yeah. But it's still something that didn't nail it for me. I
don't think that correlates to your power of obviously, right? I mean, Ben Solo, that dude, he's pretty powerful. I don't know how powerful he is with the Force, but pretty powerful. And he broke his crystal in half, right?
I would say he's more powerful than OSHA.
That's my point. That's my point. He struggled with it and broke it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think those things correlate.
I guess I need to keep myself in check because bleeding a crystal seems like a very dark side thing to do in nature, but I believe we're supposed to assume that Luke maybe bled a crystal in between episode 5 and 6 to get a green one, but I also don't remember if that story's been told or not, because we know he gets a completely new lightsaber hilt. So maybe it's not just a dark side thing, but I've always interpreted it as just a dark side thing.
I think hot, honest take. I think people are making a mountain out of a molehill here.
Well, that's where we disagree.
Dude, she bled the saber because she turned, not even that she turned bad. She was just broken and did a bad thing, and she's touching it. So all that mixed together made the crystal bleed. Because the crystal is a living thing, right? That's the lore of it.
Sure. Yes. So. Fair enough. All right. Well, it sounds like we're just Acolyte might be on the bottom of our rewatch list. It sounds like for sure, though.
At the bottom, and I'm so sick of saying, like, not sick of saying it. I'm sick in saying it because I was so excited for the show. You guys may have remember from like what years
Oh
ago.
yeah, you were pumped.
Well, because
This was supposed to be your thing.
they said we're going full Sith, baby, and then we
Yeah.
get the sick poster that I just sent you the other
original.
day
Yeah.
with the
Oh, yes,
bloody
yeah.
lightsaber, and I was like, they're doing it. It's gonna be so sick. And then we get this stupid story about these stupid twins that have nothing to do with it. And then even
Yep.
worse, we get like 1.5 episodes worth of that Sith we were promised. It's just worst case scenario in my mind.
Yeah, I agree. They did not pull at the thread of Sith like I had hoped that they would, for
I
sure.
think that's a perfect segue into season 2, though.
Yeah, let's talk season 2 predictions. Season 2 predictions. If you're with us in the chat, throw your predictions there. First thing I want to know, though, is do you believe we're going to get a season 2? Let us know that in the chat or in the comment section. Let's have that discussion again. Even if you're not watching live, we appreciate those comments. I keep going back and forward on it, man. I cannot fully decide if they're going to do a season 2 or not, because the business side of my brain, as far as like recognizing, I mean, Bob Iger's been pulling the plug on a lot of things here lately. He's saying, I mean, he's made the point, if it ain't making us big buck, we are not doing it. I don't see any evidence that the Acolyte was good business for them, in my opinion. So I would imagine that the head honchos aren't so confident about a season 2 of the Acolyte. But I would imagine Kathleen Kennedy and those in Lucasfilm want to do a season 2 because Plagueis, Yoda, and the fact that they've got a creator that they really believe in Leslie Headland. If I had to put money on it, though, today, I think we're going to get a season 2. What do you think?
First, before I tell my statement, Death Trooper says Yoda and her apprentice are the first scene, maybe, and then Plagueis and the stranger fight because of the rule of 2 stuff, maybe. All right, so we'll put a pin in now. I'm going to come back to that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's getting a season 2. It's getting a season 2.
You're that confident?
Yeah, everything that it the vibes of their almost confidence in the show, like the way they are marketing this thing as if it was buzzing off the walls. We're getting posters, we're getting theme songs, we're getting character stories, we're getting Leslie Headland doing all these random interviews and stuff. Like, the vibes I get from Lucasfilm is that they think this thing is dope. And maybe I'm crazy here, but I think they think it's really good. And so the fact that they I wouldn't say but the fact they let her do Plagueis and Yoda.
Yeah, that's a big
tells me that maybe behind the scenes, they already cooked this up, that, hey, you're going to get 2 seasons. You can write it that way and throw Plagueis and Yoda in, and then they can be main side characters for the story. And so Death Trooper says, but we need Revan and an Old Republic movie, and I think it will also get a season 2. Yeah, so Death Trooper agrees. TJ says, hey guys, Tiff is here. Just put the kid to sleep. Hey. Welcome in.
Glad to see you. Glad to see you.
Happy to be here. We're going over we're jumping into season 2 now.
We've been ranting. Let's be real. We've been ranting about the
honestly, we've just been dropping what our thoughts are. They are rants.
I don't feel like we've been too negative. We've just been, it is what it is.
Taking it how we see it. But yes, no, I do think we get a season 2. I think they announce it. I think they announced it at Celebration.
Well, I would have to ask. I don't know when the next celebration is going to be. I can't remember. I want to say it's 20, maybe 26. I can't remember.
Or no. Did I say Celebration? I meant what's next? Comic-Con or what's next?
Comic-Con's like this month. I don't think they're going to announce it then.
You don't think so?
I think they're only doing. I think they're only doing like novels and comic kind of discussion, publishing panel for Star Wars this year at Comic-Con. Maybe like a Disney D23.
Oh, okay.
D23.
Maybe a D23.
Yeah.
No, but okay. So to your point, I don't know when they announce it. I do think it's after Skeleton Crew.
Oh, yeah.
Skeleton Crew's in October.
It's supposed to be by the end of this year. We'll see.
Oh, okay. Whenever it is, if it ever drops, if it actually exists. Because remember, to our point, that was at Hobby Lobby. So I don't know. They might have been selling inventory to Hobby Lobby or something.
Yeah, I didn't check the price tag of this poster.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to get rid of it.
So, but to the point of season 2, what I wanted to say is that I could easily see this thing get greenlit but never happen.
Yeah, 100%. I want to say that there was a report before the Acolyte season 1 ever came out that Leslie was already working on drafts for a season 2. So Lucasfilm definitely had absolute confidence in the thing, and they're just maybe they're gonna. I mean, same thing with Ryan Johnson with The Last Jedi. He was given an entire trilogy before we ever even saw the movie, and I would say they've learned their lesson because Lucasfilm themselves never put an official release that the Acolyte season 2 was a go, but there was just reports that Leslie was already writing it. So,
and it's very clear in the show that they were in talks for a season 2. And Tiff says, I do think they almost must do a season 2 for Redemption.
Like to try to course correct.
I actually agree with you there. And that leads me, it's a perfect segue into our predictions, because I truly believe still the foundations are there, especially where we left off.
Yeah.
You can make a convincing, meaty, Sith forward show with the scraps we've been given. Okay. We've got Osha, we've got Chimere. They're on this planet that has all the cortosis on it.
Yes.
Plagueis is there, assumed in hiding. We assume they don't know he's there. And then we have Vernestra with May, who is somehow been mind wiped. We're not going to get into that, but I guess she's good now. And so they're going to be on the hunt for Chimere, correct? That's what our
prediction? Vernestra, I would say, let's say prediction 1 easily. Vernestra's motive is to go after Chimere and probably kill him, because it seems like her motivation is she doesn't want her bad history between her and Chimere to get out there. So she's going to use May to find Chimere and to hopefully kill him. I would say
that dynamic alone is meaty.
Yeah.
Like Padawan that's been abused and left to die survives. Like, come on. That sounds sick. Why did she do that? What happened? How did he survive? Why is he now this incredible fighter with inside the Sith or dark? Like, that right there is so cool. And Tiff says, I think Leslie's overconfident. Seriously, get some geek who can guide a novice like her on details that make Star Wars fans happy.
I agree with that. And the problem is, though, we thought Dave Filoni was that guy.
Well, okay, so that kind of leads me to my point. I think, I don't think it's her love of Star Wars that's the issue. It's the storytelling foundations that's the issue. It's just writing 101. You know what I mean? Like, that's the bottom of the story, because the stuff we got that's Star Wars is sick. Again, the action, the lore of Sith drops that we got in there. Just, I don't know. I agree that she's overconfident. I will say that, like, for sure. Like, it wasn't a good story. I'm sorry. It wasn't.
Yeah, it didn't click on all cylinders like they thought, for sure. Death Trooper here. Well, if the green girl finds out that she has to die, because no one knows about the Sith yet in Phantom, I think. And yeah, I guess that would lead me to a second prediction. At least, I don't know if you're ready for it yet, Zach, but I'm thinking it would be Plagueis. Plagueis is going to kill Vernestra. She can't go out there and tell anything else. And I would argue maybe Plagueis needs to, quite frankly, kill them all.
I think Chimere kills Vernestra. Plagueis kills Chimere. Is how I think.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I think I like
Very
that
much
better.
like, he's so emotional and he's so worked up, and he almost like Ben Solos her, like, oh, I finally got you. Because you could tell he was obviously afraid of her.
Yeah, he was.
Very much like, oh my gosh, I got to run
Yeah,
away from her.
got in the
And,
shadows.
and so, or maybe Plagueis comes into play with that scenario. But I still believe by the end of that season, Plagueis is going to kill Chimera, and maybe Chimera and Osha, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I would say it's safe to assume that regardless of what your opinion on the Acolyte is, I would imagine the business side of it is if we're doing season 2, this is the last one. So by season's end, Plagueis gets rid of all of them. And then we flash forward 50 years and we see Palpatine. And we're like, okay, that gets us ready for episode 1. That's the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. That's told in episode 3. I would imagine that's like the overall end goal of a season 2.
Yeah, and Death Trooper agrees with you. Plagueis kill them all. And Tiff says Vernestra needs to die by Chimera. Plagueis kills him. It's the Sith way. I agree.
Yeah,
Like, the Sith love to
y'all
all
nailed that.
murk each other. So
You and
that
Tiff
makes
both
complete
nailed
sense
that.
to me. And it's a couple birds with one stone. Number one, it resets the board to what we know, Plagueis.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, it shows how amazing he is.
Mm-hmm.
We have these stories and these ideas of Plagueis. If he's murking Chimera, who, don't forget, just killed like 25 Jedi, it's pretty legit.
Yeah.
And then number three, it sets the stage for the Palps story and getting into that.
100%.
So,
now, I'm noticing two things that we can't figure out a way to get incorporated into this epic potential. Let's be real. So far, what we've talked about is epic potential, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Everything we've said before is like...
Yeah. We haven't talked about two things, though. Number one, if Chimera dies, like, how is he the first Ren?
Yeah.
So that makes me think again, Leslie was just playing with the fans of like, yeah, we put that music there for a reason, but really not.
Well, they had to have. That's a big drop, putting that music in there, man. That's not a whoopsie daisy.
No, it's not.
It has to be a reason.
So it makes me think that Chimera's got to get out then.
I don't know how he survives or how he becomes this Ren character, but I don't know.
Maybe people just one day, some dark side user looks back and is like, Chimera got it right. And I've always wanted to go by the name of Ren. So
Ren is based off Chimera. Maybe.
Yes, like his philosophies, his training.
Maybe that's the case. How do you make that a clean story? I have no idea.
Agreed.
Muddy to me, and that was her pitch, right?
Yeah, she said muddy and complicated.
Muddy and complicated to get to Palps. So I'm so confident in their ability to tell that story.
Yeah, and then the second thing that we hadn't mentioned, we're talking about Plagueis, we're talking about Chimera, we're talking about Vernestra, Yoda. Leslie's two favorite characters are May and Osha, and we haven't mentioned them once.
What? That's her two favorite characters?
Well, I mean, those are the main characters of the show, is what I mean. I think she's actually said that the Stranger is her favorite character, but what I meant by that was like May and Osha have been the plot device for this story, and we haven't mentioned them in our season 2 possibilities at all.
This goes to what I said last week. They are the bad thing coming in. That's what I'm upset most about, is why didn't May get killed? Why does she still exist? Why? I get the Osha play. I actually don't hate it at all. This could be cool.
Osha turned to the dark side.
Make her bad. Make her bad. Make her kill Chimera. I don't care.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I want her to be bad. If she's going swinging all the way to the other side, don't give me some redemption. She's got to save May, so she's got to kill Chimera. I swear, if they do that, I'm going to lose it. Make her bad. That's what this whole point of the last episode was, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And Tiff says there better be a reason for the music. That stuff can't just be thrown around. I
100%.
completely agree. The music in Star Wars is sacred. It's
Yeah.
sacred ground.
It's
Okay.
essentially another character. Like
You
you can't.
no, it's almost more to me personally. I love music in general. And so especially Star Wars, I get attached to it. And it's like, you can't mess around with that because it's like messing around with your favorite character for sure.
Yeah.
And that trooper says exactly, she should have died or killed a stranger. I agree. And maybe we get there. Maybe we get there that she kills Chimere.
OSHA.
OSHA,
Okay.
correct. But May, I think, should have died.
Well, May is just plot device of how to get to Chimere in a season 2.
But how or why? She has zero use.
Because her memory. Yeah.
Yeah, she's 8, remember? In her brain. Remember that?
Oh gosh. Maybe it's the twin connection. They'll have some twin. They've got the same DNA.
Okay.
Remember?
Okay, yeah, they're the same person. Don't forget that. We haven't even talked about that.
What's the word they used? It was venom, symbiote.
Yeah.
Venom.
Yeah, symbiote.
That's one of my favorite characters to try to impersonate. Is Venom.
That's a good Venom right there.
I try, man.
You know that's Tom Hardy's voice. He is Venom.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, Sony, your movies aren't that great, so hire your boy.
Yeah, man.
Anyway.
And DB says, "Oh dang, I didn't get notified when y'all started YouTube." That's all right. Welcome in. Hey,
hit that little bell. Maybe that'll help. I don't know.
Well, I run into that too, where some of my favorite creators, like, I hit the bell, but it doesn't let me know until like 10 minutes after or whatever. Or like, oh, hey, by the way, they're streaming. I'm like, oh, dadgummit. So welcome in. Tiff says, me too. Go all the way bad, like her force choking soul. 100% agree there. Go dark. But after she killed him, there was like no change in her. Anakin kills children and went off the rails. Okay, so that's a perfect point. We talked about this last week where she murks Soul. She's turned her lightsaber red. She's bled it out. She's full dark side right now. And then she goes and hugs it out and loves on May and does all this weird stuff. That don't seem very dark side to me.
Exactly, man. And that's why I've been so struggling with the whole Kyber Crystal thing to begin with, because she's not fully there. I don't know. I didn't mean to bring the Kyber Crystal thing back up, but
no, the rules don't apply, Keller. It's the same person. So she's talking to herself, and so the dark side's like, it's fine. We're good. You're bad. DB, it was still showing that you guys were starting at 11, but didn't show live. All good. Welcome in.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was 11 Eastern. We're in Central here.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all good. What were we even talking about? I forgot now.
Predictions. I don't know. Yeah,
yeah. Okay, so no, we were talking about like Chimere and OSHA, how she could maybe kill the stranger or something.
Yeah.
I still believe that Yoda. I don't think Yoda's going to be a player. Like, I think he's just going to be maybe a guiding light for Vernestra or a onesie twosie scene situation here. I don't know. What do you think? You think he's going to be like a major side character?
I would imagine it would be a limited role. Like whenever Vernestra, just almost like what Vernestra was this season, but maybe not as much as Vernestra. A little less than that. Almost any time that Vernestra needs to like call into Coruscant as she's on this chase, Yoda would be the one to pick up the comms. But it all just still depends on what Vernestra's going to be telling.
That's
Yoda.
Exactly what I was about to say.
Is she going to be transparent or not?
What she's telling Yoda. That's another reason why that frustrated me so bad to have that cameo, because what are you going to tell Yoda? What?
Because she's lying to everybody else.
Tell him, hey, I got this old student. Thought I killed him. He's broke bad. And now he's Sith. Maybe she doesn't think he's Sith. Maybe she just thinks he's alive and out there. Because at least, all right, correct me if I'm wrong here. You can be dark side and not be Sith, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Ben Solo.
Kylo Ren is like Jedi religion type, but on the dark side, correct? And so Kylo Ren is not Sith. He is a Ren, whatever. But so, okay. So to that point, I can forgive them not thinking the Sith exists still. Even with all of this that's gone down in this show, I can still convince it. And I'm thinking that's how they're going to get around it, is the Sith didn't exist, but the Ren existed.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that that's going to be the case.
I think that might be it. That might be it. But it would have to be like Vernestra's going to learn the truth, but then she's going to have to meet her end. But obviously, it's going to be one of those tragic things where she can't report back to Yoda or Coruscant that, oh, crap, we've got Sith here.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you've wrote yourself into this corner where Yoda's involved now. So, two things happen. Vernestra lives, and she tells Yoda there's this bad dude out there, so Yoda knows there's a dark side user. She dies. Yoda goes, somebody is powerful enough to kill Vernestra, and then does nothing about it. You see what I mean?
That's a good point.
You wrote yourself into these two options. Maybe there's a third option, but this whole bringing Yoda in is just bringing me down, because it could be so cool to have Yoda in there. Like, because it's freaking Yoda.
Yeah,
I agree. It's just so scary, man.
I agree.
I'm scared.
Me too. And that's why I'm still 50-50 on if we're even going to get a season 2. But again, if I had to put money on it today, I would say yes, because it does seem like they've just put everything into this show.
Do you have that new poster they posted?
Ooh, I can pull it up.
Because as I tweeted at you on there, I think this basically confirms we're getting a season 2, and that's going to be the plot lines based on that poster.
Let me see.
Because it's a good poster.
You talking about the one that was like a fan edit?
No, I thought it was from Star Wars. It was like Vernestra on one side, Chimera and Osha on the other, and showing the different like light and dark.
I see it. All right, let me get this pulled up for those that are watching. Yeah.
I think again, I think it's actually a great poster, and it sums up what the season 2 is going to be about. Dude, how sick, and correct me if I'm wrong here, how sick would it be just having an episode or 2 with Osha and Chimera, and we're digging into the like dark side of things. And by dark side of things, I mean like, okay, if a Jedi meditates, what does a dark side user do? Do they meditate, but it be about things that make them sad or make them broken? Or, how do you get yourself stronger in the dark side? In my mind, it would be thinking of the bad things, doing bad things, getting darker. Like, just think about how cool that could be, where we could get from, like, look at that thing, man. That's sick.
It's pretty sick.
That's sick. As soon as I saw that, and it's even got the bleeding on the saber. Come on.
Yeah, but I'm confused, because then there's a saber that's in the grass that's got the exposed kyber crystal, so I don't know what's going on there.
I think it's just a visual. I don't think
okay, that's fair.
Too
that's
far
fair.
into it. Chill. Okay. I can feel the rant building up on the stupid bleeding, and wait a second, that's not her lightsaber. Wait a second.
Oh man, you know me too well.
I can feel it. As soon as I saw that laying there, I was like, oh no, he's gonna be mad.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm pretty sure that's a fan edit. Let me read the tweet. Let me read the tweet.
Oh, it's not from Star Wars.
Art inspired by the finale of The Acolyte has arrived. Artwork by Marco Maniv.
Okay, but Star Wars shared it.
Okay, yes.
That's all I care about. That's all I care about. That's a big deal. Like, that makes it official. And so, yeah, dude, that's a sick edit.
It is. But it's unfortunate that the sick edits, the sick ideas, the sick story potentials are coming from the fans, and they're not necessarily coming from the creators so far with The Acolyte. But maybe
it's not coming from
it could
the
change.
Potatoes.
Yeah. But hey, maybe if you're watching, you loved The Acolyte, and I respect it. But just let us know why did you love The Acolyte? How are you feeling about a season 2? And I feel like that. I mean, I feel like we crushed this Mando late night #1, man.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I've had a good time talking. The chat's been popping off. I appreciate everyone in the chat showing up. Maybe next, we're gonna keep doing this.
Keep growing. We got. Let me just do all the shout outs here. Death Trooper 85, DB, TJ, Let me keep scrolling. Andrew Taylor. And I believe that was it. But yeah,
Yeah,
it was fun. It was really fun.
a lot of fun.
For the first time getting back into this, yeah, I'm very pleased with it because honestly, and guys, let me know. The tech was my big concern. Let me know if everything looked good, if it played good, if it sounded good. I'll make some adjustments to make sure that Mando Late Night number 2 next week will be nice and crispy. If I need to make adjustments, just please let me know. But I mean, I feel like we hit the news that what we need to talk about. We reviewed season 1. We're turning the page from the Acolyte, baby. We have done it. Zach said, "Throw it away."
I closed the book.
Oh man! And then
If we
yeah,
get a
we had
season
some season
2,
2 predictions.
I still stand firm on there is a ton of potential. There's a ton of
I
gold
agree.
to be mined out of these waters. Okay.
I agree.
And
I
Death
agree.
Trooper
I
says
mean, heck,
everything went well. It
freaking.
all looked good. Sounded well. Awesome.
Ooh,
Love to hear
let's
that.
go. What's up
But
with the what are those little hearts that keep popping up? Is that a thing people can do?
I think it's a thing people can
I don't
emote,
I don't think that
and I'm
was
seeing them.
there. I don't think that was there the last time Mando Talk went live. It's been that long.
Yeah, I don't know, but I see them happening. So thank you for
Yeah,
hearting whoever is
yeah.
hearting. I appreciate
One day
that.
we'll get where we can do some super chats or something.
Yeah.
That's a long ways away, brothers and
Hey,
sisters.
I think you only got to have like what 500 subs. No,
We're close to that.
I think you got to have 500. I was just looking at this today. The only reason I know because
Okay,
on my
okay.
other channel. So
Yeah.
like 500 subs,
Yeah, you need to
and
plug
then
that thing.
however, oh well, shout out Video Game Nightcap. I've kind of kicked up my video game channel. I actually just did a Star Wars Outlaws reaction there, so go check that out. I'm gonna kick that up and start doing video content and getting back
Yeah.
into it. You can thank Keller for that. He has inspired me to get back on the YouTube train. So come sub over there. I actually commented on here all the way at the top if you need
Yeah,
the
there you
link.
go.
But going back to video games and or whatever we were talking about for, like I think there is so much we could do with this. I don't with live and being live. We love talking to you on the fly like this. I know, at least I do, Keller. I think you do
Oh,
too.
yeah. Dude,
And so,
I can talk I mean, I could really go for another hour, but
yeah, and
but
Death
at
Trooper
that
says,
point, I feel like we would definitely be rambling about the Acolyte.
yeah, we would. Twitch mainly has the best super chats. Yeah, Twitch is tough. Twitch is tough.
I've never played around with Twitch.
The issue I have with Twitch is just the accessibility of new people seeing it. And at least on the video game side of things, it's so just, saturated and you're doing the live stuff. Where with YouTube, you can do the video content that we love to do
Yeah.
as well as this. That's
Yeah.
worked best for me, in my opinion. But yeah,
That makes
Twitch
sense.
is great too.
I need everybody to kind of like you were saying, though. I think the possibilities with this late night format going live are endless. Like, I do want to make sure it's clear. Yeah, we can do discussions like this because this is almost kind of still that podcast form that Mando Talk is accustomed to doing, but it's not. Mando Late Night is not beholden to just that, where we have these main topics to run through and things like that. We've thrown out the idea of playing Star Wars video games while we talk and just geek out about Star Wars during Mando Late Night. We've talked about building some Star Wars Legos while we stream and talk Star Wars and just geek out. Heck, we've mentioned that whenever we were getting our first son born into the world, I wasn't really able to enjoy Andor as much because life is just super busy. We could maybe even do like a rewatch series during Mando Late Night. Like, this is again designed to be whatever us as a community feel best to just grow to enjoy Star Wars. So any ideas that y'all have, let us know. Anytime that you're here live, anytime you're watching back on the playback, let us know in the comments. I'm really open to anything and everything, and I'm very excited about the possibilities of this thing for sure. For sure. Heck, I've got space behind me where I could twirl some lightsabers. We could get really nerdy.
Heck yeah. I know. I need to open up my space. I need to turn my camera around and I can get
Yeah.
some practice in. I was actually, fun fact, I was playing with my son yesterday, and at Goodwill, they had these like just cheap lightsabers, blue and green, and they worked, and they were $3.
Wow.
And we had so much fun playing with them.
That's
I
awesome.
wanted to take a video and send to you because I was like kind of crying a little bit.
Yeah.
It was so awesome, dude.
That's
Like,
what it's all about right there.
He's hitting me with the sabers, and then I'm getting him and touching him, and he's hitting me. And oh my gosh, dude, it was incredible.
That's
like
awesome.
dad mode engaged, full on. I shed a tear. Okay, I'm a crier. If you guys don't know that already, I'm a crier. So I shed a tear, and I was like, I wish Keller could be floating in space and see what's happening here because this is sick. Death Trooper says play Battlefront against viewers.
Ooh,
I'd be sick. I would love to play Battlefront. I said Battlefield, Battlefront.
Death Trooper. We talking the original Battlefronts? We talking about the new ones? I mean, that's a big question, man.
You gotta do the new ones.
Look. Let me get some insight. My Xbox username back in the heyday, whenever it was the OG
Xbox
Battlefront 2. Yeah, that Crusher 5000, and your boy crushed. Battlefront was the thing. I mean, I feel like me and my brother put so many hours into that game. It was unreal. Like, I feel like overall we did the whole thing where it was just us two versus, like, I can't remember the number that you could put it at, but you could cap like your enemies at the highest maximum number, and it was just me and my brother going at it, and we would have so much fun. So hey, Battlefront, I'm all game for that. I would just have to figure out how to do it.
All right. Oh, they say they're coming at us too. They can beat us. I mean, the fact that I haven't played that game in literally like 10 years or whatever, like you're probably right there. But I do know, like, here recently, I've seen a lot more content on Battlefront stuff because they kind of opened up all the doors, and they've got like all the characters on there now. I'm talking all of them. And so I always had fun playing the game. I think I remember talking to you about it when it came out. You're like, hey, you know, what do you think? And I'm like, it's cool, but it didn't keep me coming back for more. Sure. And the whole loot box thing kind of threw a bad taste in everyone's mouth back in the day. But I think that's gone away.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, who knows what's going to happen here? I just, thank you guys. Thank you everybody for showing up. I had a lot of fun here.
Absolutely. And yeah, don't worry about if you were late to the party. That's fine. As long as you showed up, we greatly appreciate you. Even though I know some people might look at the numbers and be like, these guys don't know what they're doing. We just appreciate you. We're having so much fun.
Hey, I get to talk Star Wars with my boy. All right. That's a win. That's a win.
We're gonna grow. Believe that, because we're gonna keep on having fun with Star Wars and having fun with you guys. And thank you so much for the support. I guess it's time to get out of here, but man, I'm kind of bummed to end it because that means we got to wait a full week to do this again. But we're gonna do it again each and every single week, at least until, you know, life happens, things will pop up. So that's why I don't want to say every Tuesday, but live on Tuesdays. Little play on the words there. Live on Tuesdays at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central. That's our time. 8 p.m. Pacific. That handles the states. If you're overseas, if you're elsewhere, you're going to have to calculate that yourself because I can't do that. I can't do all that. Join us. Absolutely. All right. It's time for us to get out of here. Thank you so much. DB says everyone has to start somewhere. I have all of 7 subs. Hey, let me go make it 8, DB. I'll go do that as soon as this stream's over.
I got you. 9.
Let's go. There you go, DB.
Almost 10.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see y'all next week. Thank you so much for the support. We love y'all. As always, we have spoken.